And I mean, I feel that when you start to fuel your body with the foods that it needs to be successful, you feel better and you don't want the rest of the foods.
I know.
It doesn't matter.
Yep. It sounds wild if you're not there yet, but I promise you it's true.
Welcome to the Dr. Ashley Show.
Welcome to the Dr. Ashley Show. I'm Dr. Ashley, and today I've got Lisa in the studio with me. She's a team leader and PhD consultant, and we're together to answer your questions. We're going to focus on the topic of diets, supplementations, and recommendations. So let's go for it.
All right, first one. This client's ideal body weight is 145. So I need to eat 145 grams of protein per day? Question?
Yeah. So for most people, everybody is different, but I would say for most people, if you're just starting off and dropping weight, then a good target is to get 1 gram of protein per pound body weight. So yes, for this lady, I would say about 135 to 145 grams of protein throughout the day, divided up in doses in her meals. So if she eats breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner, we would divide up those 145 grams so they're dispersed pretty evenly. It is important to note that the first meal you eat in the day, doesn't matter what time the meal is, but the first meal and the last meal that you eat, you want to make sure you get your largest boluses of protein in those meals because it helps to support muscle synthesis.
This client has lost 20 pounds because of us, so that's amazing. And she has a question in reference of, do thermogenics like grains of paradise cause more hunger? She's divulging into the world of supplements for support.
Okay, yeah, so the idea behind these thermogenics is that they help the body expend more calories. They rev the metabolism, so as a result, we burn more calories. And when we burn more calories, we should drop excess fat weight. Now, the response to these type of supplements varies widely. Some people will experience actually appetite suppressant. Some people will have increased appetite. In my research of these, most of them show that they don't allow for significant weight loss. So you're going to be much better off just focusing on what you're eating, what you're not eating, stress, sleep, how you're moving throughout the day. When we look at weight loss specifically, a few helpful things would be to focus on supplements that allow for healthy blood glucose levels. So my favorite is berberine, and chromium picolinate can be helpful there. And then I always suggest just getting a multivitamin just to cover your bases, especially if you're dropping over about 40 pounds, just because the body's going through a lot to drop the weight. I recently created a new supplement. It's called GLUCOCUT, and it's specifically to support people in the process of weight loss. And in GLUCOCUT, I did add a patented form of berberine and chromium picolinate to support healthy blood glucose levels during the process. But in general, I would say thermogenics, or things that are supposed to speed metabolism, don't necessarily result in the effects that we would hope that they do.
I've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, this one. I love this one. Do you agree with intermittent fasting?
Yeah, so intermittent fasting is a tool that we impart in the offices and in our nationwide clientele. I did a previous episode all on intermittent fasting, so if you want to dive into the nitty-gritty with me, go check out that episode. But I would say that it is a helpful tool. For most people who are dropping weight, I wouldn't advise you start that way. I want to help keep your blood glucose levels stable, get out of the highs and the compensatory lows, the hungers and the craving, overeating and binging. And I would say for most people, intermittent fasting isn't the best when it comes to that. So usually we would advise specific meal and snack times. And then once the individual is fat adapted, they don't seem to overcompensate by eating later in the day, they don't seem to have binging activities, then I would say we could start to implement intermittent fasting. Most research that has come out around intermittent fasting has shown that it's not an effective weight loss tool for most people, but it can be helpful from a wellness perspective, longevity. There are certain lengths of time that you need to fast to get into the period of benefits for longevity. If you are diving into intermittent fasting, my favorite kind of protocol is the 16-8 window, where you fast for 16 hours and then eat in an 8-hour window. When you do eat in the 8-hour window, you don't want to just go crazy and eat whatever you want. You want to enter into a good, sustainable, nutritionally sound meal plan. and not overcompensate or binge later in the day. And then you really need to make sure that you get that adequate protein in there. A lot of people in the past who were avid fasters have actually decreased the amount that they fast because they were seeing significant muscle loss. So you want to make sure that if you fast, you do some kind of resistance training and you eat adequate protein in the meals in the windows of when you are eating.
This one, I think you're going to love this question. Is being fat adapted the best diet for everyone?
Yeah, I would say yes. But I understand that I'm a little bit biased. We've helped over 7,000 people drop significant weight and keep it off. And we do it through teaching the body how to be metabolically flexible and how to teach the body to burn fat for fuel. So do you have to stay in a state of fat burn all the time? You don't. But teaching the body and enabling the body to have the skill set to burn fat for fuel is so important. So I would say that even if someone really thrives off of a high carb diet, they're really unique and they thrive off of that, good for them, but they would too benefit from the skill set of being able to burn fat for fuel. So I would say, yes, it's a skill set that we should all have. And we allow the body to develop that skill set by periods of low carbohydrate eating.
100% agree with that. I feel like the clients that I see that are the most successful are the ones that have implemented all of these capabilities that we possess at PhD. And they're happier, healthier. They don't have hunger. They don't have cravings. So what's not to love about it?
I know. I agree with you. You know, we think about those of us who have had a lot of weight to drop. We've reversed a lot of metabolic issues. We just do better being fat adapted. Now, someone who's naturally lean, they're super active, maybe they can get away with more. But yeah, oh my gosh, of all the people we've helped, I see the same thing. Those of us who can stay in the States just love it and really thrive.
And I mean, I feel that when you start to fuel your body with the foods that it needs to be successful, you feel better and you don't want the rest of the foods.
I know.
It doesn't matter.
Yep. It sounds wild if you're not there yet, but I promise you it's true. If you go to our website, it's myphdweightloss.com, you'll see a lot. We have over 1,100 near 5-star reviews, and you'll see a lot of people talk about, wow, I don't have cravings anymore. Or like, she said I wouldn't want chocolate cake, and I thought she was crazy, but oh my gosh, I don't want chocolate cake anymore. So it really is possible to let go of these foods that you feel addicted to once we become fat adapted.
As a fellow chocolate cake lover myself, it is true. I'm known for being a lover of cupcakes, so right now I would rather have a piece of steak.
I know, me too. Cheers to being fat adapted. All right, you guys. Well, if you're listening to this on a podcast platform, please follow and leave a review. If you're watching us on YouTube, then thanks for tuning in, and leave any of your questions below. I'll answer them all, and we'll pull them up and do a future Q&A and talk about your specific question. Please subscribe, and we really appreciate you tuning in. Remember, you've got to step up to make the change. Lead with your heart, train your mind, and do not negotiate with your body. See you next time.